tell you about the origins of poetry. Poetry is the oldest form of literature dating back over 2,000 years ago. It is very different from prose or written language because it appeals to one's senses by using sound devices with rhyming words and rhythm. So today, when you hear our poem, rather than clap, simply snap your fingers, as was the tradition in the late 1950s in Greenwich Village, New York. We hope you enjoy our presentation. Our first poets are Peter, Ollie, and Jacob.
Bathroom.
Washing his hands. Commercial version. Cocoa just got spoiled by milk. Mama, you know, shooting in the silk. Got all the cookies, but we the sweetest here. We the best rappers, and that fact is clear. Everyone wrote a poem, but we came with a rap. Mom, what after we done, you still gotta snap. Got the hot chocolate, got the marshmallows, but I'm here rapping with my fellows. We don't rap often, but when we do, it's on point. We can rap alone, but it's better when we're joined. This is our last year, and we're really sad, but we're gonna pass it on to the next generation, and now we're really glad.
So, this is my Naruto poem. Okay. Naruto has a son named Naruto. Sasuke, with his emo hair, never be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Kakashi, the ninja that always copies. Rock Lee, I like to watch him fight in 3D. Sakura, who doesn't fight well, couldn't even take Kakashi's belt. Hinata, so shy, but has cowardice in her eye. Gaara, has a demon inside of him, and that demon is very grim. Orochimaru, who deals with snakes, he gives Naruto and his friends a headache. Those are my favorite characters, and this is the end. I'm going to pass it on to my best friend, which is Andrew.
My poem is about chocolate chips. Oh, chocolate chips with their dark color like a lunar eclipse and their curly tips. Oh, chocolate chips, I put them in my cookies, for I eat so many, people think I'm kooky. Oh, chocolate chips, they come from a cocoa bean, and they are nicely packaged, shiny and clean. Oh, chocolate chips, with their nice flavor, make me want to forever savor. Oh, chocolate chips, I love them so, and go very well with dough. Oh, chocolate chips, in the heat they melt, like iron in a furnace as it smelts. Oh, chocolate chips, I eat them every day, and I see them come out of the oven in their gray metal tray. Oh, chocolate chips, made on a line, I eat them every night after I dine. Oh, chocolate chips, in my house they lay everywhere, while their pleasant aroma fills the air. Oh, chocolate chips, put in a box, and their secret recipe surrounded by locks. Oh, chocolate chips, better than any food. Nobody can debate that, or else there will be a feud. Oh, chocolate chips will always be fine, and every single one will be mine. And next we have Ariana.
My poem is called Growing Together. We were tight like stitches in the second grade, together through everything, even the trade, separated from each other, every week apart, but our bond going stronger, closer at heart. Through many ups and downs and leaving me again, I hope this frenzy soon would end. Our friendly love for each other grew and grew, we learned from each other something new. Till this day, the love is strong, the smallest things can't break our bond. So that is our story, together forever, we are always building our bond, growing together.
My bad. The next reader is Ro. Sorry, my bad, I'm sorry.
So my poem is called Music. We all need music in our lives. We need it so we can listen to and forget about the bad things in life. Sometimes when I close my eyes and listen to music, it feels like I'm in another dimension. Rock, disco, country, hip-hop. I can listen to all types of music and it would still have this good feeling I can't describe. I love the feeling when I blast my music on my headphones or stereo. Some people would call it ear-splitting. I would describe it as satisfying to the ear. The sound of the bass of the song, the sound of the instruments in the background, the sound of the different singing voices in each song. The sound is so satisfying and beautiful to my ear. Next up is Victoria. My poem is called Lighthouses. Each of our souls are lighthouses that we choose to let flow. Lots of people choose to hide it, while others let it show. Many people are scared to turn their light on. They think it's ugly and should be gone. Others have many ships they have to guide to shore. Some have too many, or not enough in store. Sometimes it's hard to shine, when others shine brighter than you. It makes you all sad, and turns your light blue. Us lighthouses need to rise above all these terrible winds, above every tsunami and hurricane that comes our way. Now you understand all the terrible terrors that lighthouses have to face. So remember this next time you pass by their pretty face. All lighthouses are beautiful and deserve to be loved before they crumble and leave with the almighty dove. Raymond Richard Patterson was born on December 14, 1929 in Harlem, New York, and died in 2001 at the age of 71. He wrote a poem entitled Martin Luther King. He came upon an age beset by grief, by rage. His love so deep, so wide, he could not turn aside. His passion so profound, he would not turn around. He taught the suffering earth the measure of man's worth. He showed what man can be before death sets him free. Our next reader is Brandon.
This poem is called A Day in the Life of Billy. I woke up in my house. I don't have a blouse. I walked upstairs. My friend gives me stares. I went to the bathroom to comb my hair. My friend has gummy bears. Can I have some, I said. No, he said, go to bed. First, I want to be fed. I want tacos with beef. If I don't, I'll be filled with grief. So I got on my feet and I ran down the street. I made it to Taco Bell and all was well. The next poem is my Fortnite experience. When I first started, my 90s were bad. The more losses I gained, the more I grew sad. But as I played more and more, my building skills were so fire that it could melt a s'more. I was getting Vicroys left and right. I was so good that I could win any fight. I bought a lot of V-Bucks to get more skins and back blings. And when I hit those snipes, I loved hearing the dings. When Season 5 came, I took a long break, but I was drawn back into the Season 6 Battle Pass because it was as juicy as a steak. As I got better and better, my love for the game began to shatter. The more I played, the more I didn't like the opening song. Time to move on to the Red Dead series. Fortnite, so long. And next poet is Patrick.
My poem is The Army Goes Rolling Along. Some say they're weak, and some say they're strong. From battle forged to patent sinks, the soldiers went marching on. From the fields of Normandy to the Foley Gap, their tanks went rolling along. From the shores of Normandy to Afghanistan, the air support went flying down. From D-Day to Operation Enduring Freedom, and the artillery kept on firing. Thank God for the good men and women who served, and the Army goes rolling along. Dylan Thomas, born on October 27, 1914, was a Welsh poet and writer whose works include the poem Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night and Death Shall Have No Domain. He became widely popular in his lifetime and remains so after his premature death on November 9, 1953, at the age of 39 in New York City. Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of light. The wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words have forked no lightning day. Do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, at the last wave by, crying how bright. Their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun flight, and learned, too late, they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, who see the blind in sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of light. And you, my father, there on this sand height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of light. Our next poet is JJ.
Taste the rainbow. Imagine tasting a rainbow. What would each color taste like? I picture red, the same piercing taste as blood. And blue, the crashing waves of a flood. Green would be fresh and full of life. Meanwhile, black would be bitter and smack of strife. Purple would give off the essence of fancy and upper class, but white would be bland like water in a glass. The taste of pink would give off a pop, but gray would come in with a hint of sadness and make the good feelings stop. Orange would bring a bit of heat, then with a similar taste to the last, yellow would enter but taste a bit more like a treat. So that is how I think all the colors would taste. Thank you for listening, and I promise I didn't just copy and paste. The next reader is Gianna W.
Fire and Ice is a short poem by Robert Frost that he wrote in 1920. In this poem, the fire represents desire, and the ice hatred in the world. Frost tells us how he believes the world may end. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. But from what I've tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if I had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that the destruction of ice is also great and would suffice. Now this is my poem, Scuba. There's that moment when my head is filled with a bunch of mixed emotions. Nervous, scared, but most of all curious of what I might find. I take one last look at the boat that I'm going to leave behind, and I dive. All I can hear is the air from my BCD purging to the surface as I descend into the unknown. Once I reach my destination, I am surrounded with things that I've never seen before. Fish that swim so close up to me, I can almost catch them in the palm of my hand. Then as I look more closely at the bottom, I see bright, beautiful plants and coral, something that I never thought existed at the bottom of the ocean floor. Diving is my second home, a place where I could let my emotions flow, a place where I feel so free. When I dive, I stare in awe when I find something new. I am an outsider looking in. I am so intrigued by their little humble home. This world is as perfect as it seems. It's like an underwater Neverland. Once you go, you will never want to leave. There's that moment when your head will be filled with a bunch of mixed emotions, and that's why I dive. Next up is Lauren.
Baseball. I've played baseball since I was 5. This sport makes me feel so alive. I've enjoyed the sport every year I've played. Winning taught me to be a good sport. Losing taught me that I'll sometimes fall short. Coaches always told me to play as a team, even if we're losing, not to let off our steam. Umpires were always bad, which always made my team mad. This is all part of the sport, being a team and try to catch our dreams of making it into the MLB. Our next poet is Jack.
My poem is called Doge at Your Door. The Doge is in your house. He is quiet as a mouse. Up the stairs without a scares. Rushing the hallway like it's D-Day. Through your door without counting to 4. He checks your closet without a fuss. He must because he's a curious dog. He's now at the base of your bed. He slithers like a cipher up your bed. You feel a slight breeze on your knees. You don't think about the breeze on your knees and leave it alone until you open your eyes and see the Doge relaxing at the edge of your bed. Next poet is Randy.
This is literally the greatest poem that ever existed.
My poem is Norman Reedus and the Flying Fetus. Norman Reedus and the Flying Fetus. Let me tell you a story from me, a genius. So Norman Reedus and some random spirit were a fledgling fetus named Cebus. For many hidden meanings lay deep within the region, like Cebus, Reedus, and the Reedus. Or how Norman Reedus is Jesus. But wait, how can one believe this? For young Cebus defends Reedus. Yet Jesus doesn't lead us. So if Cebus were to leave Reedus, Norman would tremble before the elitists. He'd come on the royal vassal tyranny, not being allowed to enjoy the scenery. But if allowed to gaze for a while, Cebus would come in for longer than an aisle. Not even noticing his own fantasies, Reedus would drown in his own fallacies. The day Norman Reedus came to pass with his splendorous ways, young Cebus grew wings and flew away. Next up is
Something creeping, Kevin Gorska. I close my eyes, ready for bed. Then I hear a noise from my shed. It wakes me from my bed. Then a crunch of the leaves in my yard makes me want to fall down hard. Then a noise by the floor. Something dropped by the back door. I rush towards the door by crawling on the floor. And hearing the dog bark makes me want to disembark. When I get to the noise I heard, something I've heard before, it was a noise by the floor. That made me want to open the door. So I remember about the back door and how it wasn't open before. Next up is A Man's Best Friend by celebraton.
My poem is A Man's Best Friend. I know this creature whose color is yellow. He's sometimes crazy, but mostly mellow. When he's excited, he likes to play, and when he's tired, he goes to lay. From his gorgeous brown eyes to his quiet whimpering cries. Every time I call his name, he never listens because he thinks it's a game. His dog's name is Buster. His coat is specifically sheer luster. I would definitely say he's the best, and he surely rises above all the rest. My next poet is David.
Robert Frost, an American poet, grew up in New England during the 19th and 20th centuries. He is well known today, but while he was alive, no one knew about his poems. I'll recite one of Mrs. O's and mine favorite poem by Frost, The Romantic. Two roads diverge in the yellow wood, and sorry I did not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and long down one as far as I could. To where it bent in the undergrowth, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same, and both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had short and black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how a way leads on to way. I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this. Goodbye. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverge in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by.
and that has made all the difference. Next poem is by me, Making Lemonade Out of Lemons. There is a common expression that one should make lemonade out of lemons. But what do I do when my lemon is rotten? Should I leave the lemon, forsaken or forgotten? Should I consume the filthy residue of the fruit and allow the problem to alternate my attributes? Should I offer it to a neighbor who would savor the taste, or give the rotten lemon to one who is not my mate? And even if the lemon is fresh and delightful, making the lemonade is still scary and frightful. To squeeze, to squash, to crush, to press, even if I try to compress. No juice from the lemon, no liquids from the fruit. To extract the juice is like flying through a roof. On this spooky, calamitous, depressing night, I feel as if I should allow the lemon to die. And now I'll admit, I still do struggle, persevere, strive, and avoid all this trouble. So tell me now, from what you have heard, do you believe what I'm saying is crazy or absurd? And one last question before I leave to the portrait to my St. Ambrose family. What do I do with my lemon? What do I do with the lemon? Next poet is Kenny.
Anime, the medium known to some, but if you thought Pokemon, then you're a bum. It's not that Pokemon is bad or wrong. Anime is just much more than one show long. And if you still don't understand, let me explain. The main demographic is 22 years of age. Death Note to Naruto, it's really not that mundane. And if you've seen good anime and you've run away, I know for a fact that you're insane. I feel the only people who dislike anime are the ones without brain. Anime just has the appeal that no other medium obtains. And if you ever want to give anime a try, call me up, I'm just your guy. Chris Savage.
My poem is called Billions. The fight they will begin, they will need a final strike with them. They make a huge sacrifice, every day they may pay the price. The blue stripes dance with courage, the people they might fight will be enraged. And in the city they keep the peace, at night all the fighting seems to cease. Every day they make hard decisions, whether or not you go to prison. If they suspect neglect, they will protect. And the next poem is by John Olive.
My poem is called 2010. The years of our young childhood with events that were both bad and good. From beautiful songs by Taylor and Beyonce to Gangnam Style, which was not okay. We had Disney Channel with its original shows that were glorious, and Nickelodeon who brought us victorious. Trends came and went that were quite embarrassing, like eating Tide Pods, which questioned some people's parenting. With 2 presidents, royal weddings, and much more, it was hard to see how much everyone could endure. But now our 2010s have come to an end, and we are missing them like an old friend. Next we have Emil.
My poem is called Journey. We were in our ships and they felt like us. It spoke to me and we built a level of trust. I felt the gravity. It was so strong it might have caused a tragedy. We met up at the academy. There was no gravity and the garden had died. It was nothing like before. I didn't even recognize the floor. We went to Mars and we met a guy named Lars. He showed us the oxygen ocean and it tasted like some sort of potion. We found the old city and we fought for real this time. Thomas hit me with his spear, but I didn't care because heaven would be mine. Next is Edward. R6. Rainbow Six, I played every day. Maybe too much, you might say. I enjoy the intense moments. 1v5s, 1v4s, and 1v3s I clutch with enjoyment. Every night I play competitive. Every round is different, never gets repetitive. My favorite ops, Jaeger, Twitch, and Ash. On this game, I spend my cash. Now this might sound rash, playing every day to work up the brass. Maybe one day I will go pro. To Montreal for Invitational, I will go. Maybe one day I will become famous, or just continue to remain famous. Let's hope my hard work pays off before this game gets old and cut off. Next poet is Serena. What is your name?
Call it a phone here. Like a phone here will not last, maybe an hour or two. So let it go, it will go by fast. Soon to be a forgotten mess, just like a tear will clear up. And you'll start to smile when you realize it was miles away from here. So let us cheer to doing our best, and this is the rest. It will not last, so do not fear. There is still more to cheer. It will clear up just like a fallen tear. Next is John.
We ask him to speak a little louder.
Arrow. It all started with the short arrow. His name is Oliver Queen, and he's the Green Arrow. He fights for a city with this team. In season 2, someone was introduced. He was called the Flash. His name is Barry Allen. When you call, he'll be there in a dash. He fights for a city with this team, then someone else was introduced. She was called Supergirl. Her name is Ambrose, and she doesn't play games. She's a strong woman fighting for her city with the help of her team. She'll fight anything and anyone, and someone else was introduced. She was Batwoman. Her name is Kate King, and she has quite the game. Out in the field, she fights by herself, fighting for her city. I know these are all fictional characters, but they're real to me. If you watch the shows, you may consider you might just see what I see. A world where nothing is impossible, the heroes are unstoppable. Next is Gianna S.
New chapter. I can't believe I'm leaving soon. It's been 9 years, but it's almost here. But I guess it's a new chapter, remembered every moment of laughter. I'm nervous and excited to leave, but I'm definitely going to grieve. It's gonna be sad to leave my friends, but everything has to come to an end. So many memories I have made, I hope they will never fade. So one day, I hope we meet again. I'll never forget you, my old friends. Next, all of us will be reading Annabelle Lee.
Get up. Pass them down if you need them.
And then before we do our next poem, we're going to take a short little break. We'll get some more hot chocolate, we have plenty of it, okay, before we do this one.
Ready? Go. It was many and many a year ago in a kingdom by the sea that a maiden there lived who you may know by the name Annabelle Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child and she was a child in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabelle Lee. With the love that of wings, stars of the heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, at this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of the clouds, chilling my beautiful Annabelle Lee. So that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me, to shut her up in a spectre
In this kingdom by the sea.
The angels not half so happy in heaven when envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know, in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabelle Lee.
But
Our love was stronger by far than love, and those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we, and neither the angels of heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever sever my soul from the soul of my beautiful Annabelle Lee. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of beautiful Annabelle Lee. And the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle Lee. And so all the night I lie down by the side of my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea.
Good job, guys.
Go.
Class of 2020, the time has finally come to call this chapter done. Through all the laughs we had, we will still be very sad. We are also very happy to start a new chapter, so let's not get sappy and bring on the laughter.
From Gianna's snack stealing to Peter's looks that are revealing. Ed's computer knowledge is extreme, and Kenny's loves to me.
Jessica's smile is brightening. Randy's anime knowledge is quite enlightening. But sometimes it's very frightening. Victoria's melodious voice is enticing.
Lorenz's love to play baseball, Patrick's love of military and all, Jack's questionable jokes, and Ariana's sarcastic quotes.
Gianna R's brilliance is quite the best. Sometimes we wonder if she ever rests. Rosaria's love of music and fashion, Chris's obsessive hockey passion, from Francesca's TikTok dances to Serena's video game advances.
Olive's comedy goals are keen, and Gianna W's library team. Kevin's perfectly timed lead, and Emil's big love of TV.
Last but not least, let's finish this piece with JJ's big eyes that cannot tell a lie.
So thank you for listening. We hope